Hello, my name is Agatheis and I am online and I am playing Stellaris. Welcome to a new playthrough. So if you've been watching my channel, you'll see I haven't uploaded anything for a little while. I was very busy with work over the second half of 2018, and quite frankly I was getting a little bit demoralized by not getting many views and not having many subscriptions to my channel, and I stopped doing some of the recordings. I will come back to them. I will come back to Hand of Fate, and I will come back to XCOM 2 and a couple of others. But I wanted to start something new just to kickstart myself into recording again. And I chose to do Stellaris. I've been playing Stellaris a little bit in multiplayer with some friends over at the Sky Rangers of Terror, which is the unit that I do MechWarrior Online with. After they recommended I get it. And I decided to buy the very basic game, which costs about £10 in the UK, or about, I think, $6 to $8 in the US when it's on sale. Because when you play multiplayer, if the host of the game has all the DLC, then it gets shared with everybody else. That's great. But I wanted to make a video just to see, is the basic game still worth playing? Do you need all the DLC? Can you have a good time and enjoy Stellaris just with the cheapest basic version? And that's what we're playing here. We are playing the 2.2.7 patch, mid-April 2019. A lot of changes were made in the 2.2 version, and we'll go through some of those. I'm mostly playing this blind-ish. I've never actually got to the mid-game before on my own. I've done a couple of little single-player playthroughs as I practiced for this, mostly to get the audio levels right and stuff like that. But you know, after settling the first few planets, I'll be going in blind. So we are going to do a new game, and these are the races you get to pick from in the basic game. So the basic game does come with 2 free bits of DLC. One is a portrait pack, and I can't remember what the other one is, but it's free. It comes with the game. You don't even need to click to get the DLC on the second one. It's just there. So there's no mega corporations, there's no hive minds, there's no machine races in this. This is the basic set of races you get to pick from. You've got the United Nations of Earth, the humans. They are beacons of liberty, they're idealistic, they're xenophiles, they want to trade with aliens. They're very egalitarian, live on a continental world called Earth, surprise. And you've got the evil humans, the Commonwealth of Man, a dictator system, military dictatorship. They are xenophobes, they don't like aliens at all, very military. Have a very strong admiralty, and of course they've got red coloured chips, which, as we all know, red means bad guys. So we've got the 2 humans, we've got some reptiles. These are slavers, and they look like slavers as well. They live in a desert world. They're decadent. They can make their slaves work harder, I think. Yeah, slaves work harder, but they're less happy. But who cares about slaves when you're a slaving race? Very military, very authoritarian, and strong as well. Physically strong race. Do we have any other reptiles? No. We've got avians, bird people. An imperial cult, so a very focused on their empire and their emperor. A big selection of aristocrats. Very conformist, they all do what the emperor tells them to do. They're good at physics research, maybe because they're good at flying. They have a background in spatial relations and things like that. They live on an alpine world. The Ifarex, a trade league. These are your classic traders, I guess. These weird blind duck-billed platypus things. from a tundra world. Corporate, ruled by a shadow council. They make lots of money, they're thrifty. They live together. Generally fairly pacifist. They're not interested in military. They're not particularly interested in science. They're just interested in money. We have mollusks. Okay, they look like floating gas bags. They are sedentary. They can't move very fast. Kind of spiritual. They've got a priesthood. Xenophiles, so they do like trading with aliens. They live a long time. And they're tough. We have fungi. The Jehetma Dominion. Fungi, slow breeders. I guess they're just because they're mushrooms. Very environmentally positive. They live a long time, I think. No, not so much actually. But they're interested in philosophy. They're pacifists, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Some more kind of mammals. Looks like sort of giant gerbils or something. Again, pacifists, spiritual, xenophiles, interested in, very charismatic, interested in society, but physically weak. Anthropods, so these are not hive mind bugs, they're just bugs. A strong warrior culture, very military. Solitary, actually, they don't really live in a hive mind, they kind of live apart from each other. Very strong. And the Blorg, which look even more like giant mushrooms, with a big heart-shaped logo. They're repugnant, they hate everybody. They're solitary, they live a long time, but they're nomadic, they travel around. Interesting. So because this is the basic game, I'm going to go with a basic human race. I tend to like going for human in all the games that I play in general. So we're going to go as the United Nations of Earth. They get blue ships, that's kind of cool. The myriad human nations that constitute their interstellar government are disparate, yet united in purpose. These bipedal mammalians have developed a society that encourages and even thrives on individual freedoms and cultural differences. As a result, humans tend to integrate well with alien populations. Despite this, they have strong martial traditions produced by millennia of intermittent warfare on their homeworld. And their sometimes aggressive and unpredictable nature should not be underestimated. Okay. They get extra unity every month. They're happier. They get more stuff from trade and from diplomacy. And they're very egalitarian, so you get more influence from factions, I guess. Sure. Now, if you played a basic version of this game a couple of years ago when it first came out, you got to choose a couple of extra things on top of this. You got to choose... what did you get to choose? You got to choose the kind of weapons you started off with. You had to choose lasers or missiles or ballistics, which I thought was kind of cool because not everybody develops the same technologies, and it was interesting to be able to say, okay, the humans have developed nuclear missiles for their craft, but haven't developed any good lasers yet. You could discover lasers later on, but you didn't start with them, and I thought that was interesting. I think missiles were good at long range. Ballistics were good against shields but not armor, and lasers were good against armor but not shields, or something like that. You also got to choose your type of light speed travel. So you could have warp drives, which is your basic sort of Star Trek, Star Wars. You go at the speed of light from one place to another, and you can go anywhere. You had a jump drive, which was only jumping on certain routes through the galaxy, which is a little bit like Master of Orion and Master of Orion 2. if you ever played those. And you got another one which I think was called Gateways, where you didn't have a faster than light travel mechanism. You just went really slowly through space. If you got to a system, you could build a gateway, and you could travel to and from gateways that you owned basically instantly. So it was slow to expand, but once you'd expanded, it was instant travel. All that's gone. You just get jump drives now. Everyone starts with jump drives, everyone starts with missiles and beams and maybe ballistics? I'm not sure, we'll see. And that's about it, really. You can edit all of these. You can create a new race. You can choose an interesting portrait. I think a couple of these are from the free portraits pack that came with the game. You can choose a name. You can write your biography. You can choose what kind of names you're going to use. Hive mind names. Interestingly, hive mind names come with the game, even if you don't have the hive mind expansion. You can pick your traits, so you can pick, intelligence. You get more research. You can pick some negative ones. Slow breeding, so you're slow to. You get less population growth, and you can pick. What have you got? Conservationist, or you're wasteful. I don't know. You can pick all of these. Charismatic, sure. You can pick what kind of world you live on and its random name, or you can put one in. The city that you see in the background, these are pretty cool. So the mammalian ones kind of look human. Reptile ones look very functional. Avian ones are tall spires. Mollusk ones look just weird. Fungi look like giant mushrooms. Arthropods look also weird. And you can pick your various traits. I'm not going to do that for this playthrough because I'm just using a basic race. But what's interesting is that you can pick what kind of authority you have. So you can be a democracy, that's fine. Or you can be a dictator, and that's fine too. You can be imperial or dictator. And that affects what other civics you can pick. So if you want to be a dictator, you can't pick some of these. You can't pick imperial cult. You can't pick priesthood. You can't pick, aristocracy. If you're an imperial society, you can't pick technocracy, which means technocracy means it's governed according to science and rational decision. You can't pick warrior culture. Oh, no, I think you can. Hold on. So you can pick a few of these. You can pick pacifist, or pacifist, spiritual, xenophobe, I don't know. And you can pick a couple of these. You can then pick your name, or you can randomize it. Pick a logo. Pick a kind of ship. And what's interesting is that the color of your ship is determined by your main color here. So if you want purple lights on your ships, then you can pick purple. And you can pick some of the titles of your leaders and things like that. Not sure how you tell the difference between male and female with some of these, but whatever. You can pick the kind of room and the way the window looks. Few of the other things. There you go. But we're not going to do that. We're going to pick the United Nations of Earth as our race. We'll select that. Now, you'll get to this screen, and this is your game details. I'm going to reset this to default, and you'll notice that this game is not eligible for achievements. In order to make your game eligible for achievements, you have to pick Iron Man. So we're going to be in Iron Man mode. Everything is in default, including the difficulty. I'm in ends in difficulty because I'm really not very good at this, and I haven't really played it very much. There's going to be 9 AI empires, 2 of them advanced, a couple of fallen empires, elliptical galaxy. We could make it a spiral, but we'll stick with the basics for now. Let's play. So we're going to start a new game. This, I guess, is a molluscoid kind of city. Here we go. The United Nations of Earth. Much has happened since modern humans first emerged in Africa some 200,000 years ago. Our kind spread rapidly across most of the globe, and soon the first civilizations took form. Scientific progress has been swift, though not without cost. Wars claimed millions of lives even before the atom was tamed, and the turmoil of the 21st century saw the mandate of the United Nations gradually expanded in an effort to create stability. By the early 22nd century, the supranational organization had become a de facto world government. Though some still resent the power wielded by the UN, as evidenced during the Mauritian police action of '88, few can deny the technological breakthroughs that have come out of this sponsored research program. With the recent completion of the first true starships, mankind is about to embark on a new era of space exploration. There we go. That is our new Civ. Now I can click begin. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait for the second episode on that. This is episode 0. This is the setup episode. I will just point out a couple of things on this screen. Top left, you've got energy, then you've got minerals and food. So that's your money, your production, and your food, just like in Civilization. Excuse me. If I sound a little bit stuffed up, I'm kind of hay feverish at the moment. Very similar to what you get in Endless Space if you've played that. And there are some secondary resources here. Consumer goods, alloys, and influence. Consumer goods are your toasters and things that your people need to be happy. Alloys you build starships and spaceships from. And influence is a little bit like your external political power. Your ability to make edicts and claims and things like that. And unity is a little bit like your internal people's power. How united your people are. Simple as that, I guess. Then we have some research, and we'll get into that. Some rare materials, and a few of the bits and bobs which aren't really going to bother us for a while. We've got a menu on the side here that we'll get into a bit more. And our list of planets, shipyards, fleets, and civilian ships as well. So that about wraps it up for this episode. If you are interested in watching more, please remember to leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know which other series you'd like me to pick up again first. XCOM 2 or Hand of Fate are probably the big ones. Let me know. And yeah, enjoy the series, and I'll see you for episode 1. My name is Agatheis. I'm going offline, and I will see you for Stellaris next time.